What's good, YouTube? I'm Kid Liddy, and today I just wanted to talk about a show that's currently airing called 86. A story diving deep into topics ranging from the social elite discriminating the lower class all the way to all-out warfare against mechs. I'll just be discussing my initial thoughts of the show as well as a recap of the first few episodes that have aired already. From the trailer, I was immediately drawn in to check out this show. It definitely gave me Code Geass vibes, as the show features a lot of mech fights, but instead of robots, it's mechs resembling insects. The story seems to share some similarities as well, at least from a standpoint of a corrupt empire/government. Holy Britannian Empire was by no means a good-hearted one with how Area 11 was treated. Back to 86 though, the show revolves around a nation known as the Republic fighting a war against the Legion of the Gladian Empire. The Legion, however, is not a human enemy. Rather, it's an army full of unpiloted mechs. To fight the Legion, the Republic used the Juggernauts, which are piloted by the 86, a group of humans that have been essentially stripped of their rights and are essentially nothing more than drones themselves. The social elite in the show being the Alba race, use the 86 to fight their war. It really reminds me of Code Geass with how the Japanese in Area 11 have been conquered and reduced to being addressed as 11s. Shows feature a government treating a particular race as straight up inferior. In the first episode, the main character, Lena Malizzi, who goes by the name Lena for short, is introduced. She's a high-ranking officer in the military. In fact, she's a major. Also a handler. So in the show, handlers oversee their squads, like commanding them in battle, but they're not actually there. You just really see what's going on in the battle through a screen. If anything, it looks like more of a sort of video game for the handler with how they depict it in the show. Getting back to the first episode though, every other Alba citizen seems to think rather negatively of the 86, whether it's Lena's uncle, Jerome Carstall, or her friend Anit, who's part of the research division of the Republic. Lena makes an effort to learn about her unit and seems to genuinely show concern for them. She sympathizes with the struggle of the 86 trying to regain their freedom. At the end of the episode, she's ordered to become the new handler of the veteran Spearhead Squadron, which has a notorious reputation with their previous handlers. Second episode, prominent members of the Spearhead Squadron are introduced. The leader of the squadron, Shin, is called the Undertaker. He seems to be the type of character who's a very cold leader, but actually deeply cares about his comrades. Other notable members of the roster include Raiden, Carrie, Karina, and Andrew. It seems that the dynamic so far is that Lena is still trying to gain the respect of the squadron members to begin with. In this episode, we get to see the squadron fight the Legion with their new handler, Lena. This did get me wondering about the secret or mystery behind the Legion. How did the machines manage to overthrow the human empire even? Sounds like a Terminator type beat. But yeah, anyways, hopefully we learn more about the Gladian Empire before the season wraps up. With the third episode, we get to see a squad just doing some normal stuff, just chilling. Whether it's the boys by themselves and the girls by themselves. It's definitely a nice shakeup from the more serious tone set in the first two episodes. Side note though, some members do seem to be a little bit uncomfortable with Lena being the handler, because of how, I guess, social and nice she is. Overall though, it's very interesting to see the interactions with members of the squadron and Lena when they're discussing topics beside war, such as life in general. The interaction with Kaye is also probably my favorite part of the episode. In the next episode, we see Lena feel sympathetic. A chunk of the episode just explores what's going on in Lena's head after the battle that occurred in episode 3. We also learn more about her background story. Seeing the flashback with her dad was really cool, as we finally get to see more of him, even though it's just a few seconds, to be honest. The interaction with her uncle, Jerome, just shows how cruel the Alba society really is. The Alba race pretending the 86 are not even human, and they think it's justified to force them to fight in a war, is an example of the just world phenomenon. Basically, this concept states that everything in the world is just and people get what they deserve. In the Alba's eyes, the 86 deserve to fight in the war because they consider them to be inferior to their own race, as it seems from the first few episodes. I know it's a fictional show, but no cap, it's just crazy to me how the 86 are even considered human. Like, it's just mind-boggling. There's a fine line between compliance and internalization, and it seems that the 86 are closer to the side of internalization as puppets in this war. There's a constant struggle to prevent de-individualization from occurring, as they're still trying to retain their identities and not lose themselves in this war. The scene with Lena writing down everyone's name was really emotional. I gotta say, really well done. I think this is my favorite episode yet. At the time of me recording this video, there's already been a total of 9 episodes aired, but I don't want to spoil the whole show and analyze every episode in depth. So if you haven't watched the show, I highly encourage that you check it out because this one's honestly a banger. Getting away from the story, the visuals are very good from what I've seen so far. If I had to compare the visuals to another show, I would say it would be Guilty Crown. Although Guilty Crown did not have the most intriguing story and probably a not so good ending, the visuals were awesome to look at. To conclude the video, the first 4 episodes have been a roller coaster to say the least. The show is definitely in the running for anime of the season. I'm drawn into the universe that 86 has to offer and excited to see where it goes next. I haven't watched a mech anime in a while, so it's refreshing to see something from this genre again. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. If you like it, maybe, leave a like. Anyways, I'm Kid Liddy, and I'm out of here. Peace.